All right, the Utah Jazz lose to the Milwaukee Bucks. This is the SLC Dunk post-game show. So the Utah Jazz lose a tough one to the Milwaukee Bucks. Really kind of a frustrating loss for the Utah Jazz. Nothing about this game would be something you can really draw from it. So we're going to talk about the Bucks a little bit. We'll talk a little bit about the Jazz. The Bucks are streaking right now. They are hot as could be, and honestly, I think the Jazz underestimated them coming into this game. They did not come in with the biggest juice or emphasis or power or whatever you want to call it to start the game, and the Bucks just brought it to the Jazz. The Jazz looked shell-shocked. They did not look ready. They did not look engaged. In all honesty, it was just kind of frustrating for the Jazz, and so big. The Bucks in a lot of ways won this game in the first quarter. They came at the Jazz, and I think it was 17-5 at the beginning. Giannis is a superstar that you absolutely cannot take for granted anything with Giannis. He is fantastic, and he just is the leader of that team, and they're just going to get better. Bucks fans, maybe you can let me know in the comments what is going on, but why does Gary Payton start over Malcolm Brogdon? I don't understand that. I don't know what Gary Payton brings to that starting lineup that Brogdon wouldn't. I don't know. I don't understand it. And so it's interesting that the Jazz cannot take advantage of Gary Payton starting, and mostly because of the Jazz starting lineup, which we'll get to. It's going to be a recurring theme for the Utah Jazz for the rest of the season, probably. But anyways, the Bucks just took it to the Jazz in the first quarter. Giannis is incredible. They were hitting shots, and tonight, honestly, the Bucks players were just on fire. They were hitting from mid-range, which the Jazz were trying to force them into, and they were hitting it. They were getting to the rim and scoring. They were hitting their threes. They just looked really good. Things might be gelling for the Bucks with Eric Bledsoe. He might be just finally finding his place with this team, and his talent is helping them get better and better. And so now they're hot as could be, and they're going to win a lot of games. And hopefully the Jazz, the next time they play them, can find a way to get a win. But the way the Bucks are playing right now, it's going to be tough for anyone to beat them. Did not appreciate that dunk, Giannis, at the end on Rudy. He didn't even try for it. Good garbage time dunk, Giannis. Makes me so mad. He's very good. I would trade for Giannis in a second. But yeah, it's I don't know. I'm not that impressed with a lot of the things the Bucks do in terms of just their system. I don't know what Jason Kidd does or brings, and so it's just like it's so bizarre to me when you have a player starting over just the obvious starter as Malcolm Brogdon. I don't understand, and I don't watch the Bucks enough to know. Maybe there's some secret reason that Gary Payton starts that I don't know, but he just doesn't seem to. It's strange. It's bizarre. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. But what I did like about the Bucks is that it looks like Bledsoe gets a lot of space because he's playing with Giannis. It's incredible the space that Giannis creates for other players. He's a superstar, and he's very special. So the Bucks got a good one, and they're playing hot right now, and they took advantage of a Jazz team that looked really sluggish. As far as the Jazz, that starting lineup, and part of the reason the Bucks took it to us in the first quarter is our starting lineup doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And at the beginning of the game, there were a few lazy passes, and the Jazz can't afford that. Our starting lineup with the Utah Jazz starting lineup with Rudy Gobert, Derek Favors, and Ricky Rubio, it just doesn't work. It's a problem. It's absolutely a problem. And I don't know what Quinn Snyder is going to do, but it was frustrating at the start of the game, and I almost wonder if you could kind of see what Quinn was thinking. But the Jazz have like 2 or 3 missed passes, just lazy passes that turn into turnovers for the Bucks that go the other way or just create opportunities for the Bucks to score, and tonight they did. And then, so I wonder if Quinn was thinking, well, you know what, lazy passes aren't necessarily a reason to change players out. But then as the first quarter went on, the Bucks just scored. Even with Favors and Rudy in the game, they still found a way to score. And that's partly because of the Bucks' talent, and partly because it just doesn't work. And I think it's even creeping into the defense a little bit, that it's not effective. And I don't know what the Jazz do. I really don't, because I don't think that you can just put Favors as a bench player. He's too talented. Ricky Rubio, and the thing that's going to make it even more difficult is Raul Neto now goes down with a concussion, and so you've got our point guard situation is Ricky Rubio and Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell tonight struggled a little bit. I honestly wonder if this team was under the weather or something, because that's what they looked like. It looked like a team that was just not feeling good or just not engaged. And usually you're not as engaged when you're not feeling well. And there have been little snippets of saying that Donovan's been under the weather and sick. And so I wonder if that was catching up to him this game. I actually got a little nervous tonight. I checked just to see when the Jazz play again, because we've been given and gifted by Adam Silver so many back-to-backs. Thank you, Adam Silver, and he's been kind enough to give us a lot of 3 and 4 nights over a lot of other teams who haven't had to deal with that this season. Thank you, Mr. Silver. But I just was scared to death. It's if we play the Bulls tomorrow, the way the Jazz look right now, we're in trouble, and the Bulls are terrible. But honestly, the way they played tonight, I don't know if we even beat the Bulls tonight. It was just not a great showing. Thank goodness the Jazz play the Bulls on Wednesday. So they're going to play the Bulls on Wednesday. That gives the Jazz, at least I checked. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments, but I'm pretty sure I checked during the game. But anyways, thank goodness the Jazz play on Wednesday, because my goodness, there would be a big chance they'd lose that game, especially if we played tomorrow. Who even knows? Joe Ingles looked dejected. He might have been sick as well. Just a rough game. It was really... The Jazz just did not look good. I think, honestly, there was 4 or 5 little dump passes inside to Favors where he kind of bobbled the ball inside. Normally, he picks those up and just finishes. Missed 3-pointers. Just shots at the rim that wouldn't go in. The lone bright spot on this game, honestly, was probably Rudy Gobert. Looked like a little bit of his lift was back, at least offensively. It wasn't there for that last dunk for Giannis, but Giannis dunks on anybody with that. But Rudy just looks like his lift is going to be slow coming back, and it's kind of frustrating. It feels like he's dealing with kind of one of those MCL strain type things instead of just a bone bruise. I mean, bone bruises are just tough to come back from, and the way his leg bent when he got hurt, that's rough. So just frustrating for the Jazz. Frustrating loss that they were just never really in this game. Really felt like we just didn't have a chance, which is disappointing. Part of that goes to the Bucks for just being playing hard and doing a good job hitting their shots, playing well. Giannis is a star, and the Jazz just struggling. So anyways, guys, make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to go to SLC Dunk. Read all the articles on these things. You're going to find some really cool stuff. And also make sure to follow us and like this video on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and everywhere else where there's SLC Dunk. All right, talk to you later.